everybody. It's Jackie Schomburg-Abstract. I'm coming to you from a hospital room today where my son is stable, and I don't know, it's been a week. He's so much better than he was last time we were here last week. We're hopeful that this time will be a shorter stay and that things will get much, much better soon. He's over there watching Minecraft videos on my iPad. So I thought I would take this opportunity to actually maybe get a video out today. What do you think? I'm a little late, but why not? This week I essentially canceled all of my Brave Art and Wellness workshops because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make them or not due to his health. And I instead basically instituted a study hall of sorts, just like a random open space. Doesn't count toward the 5 weeks that we're doing right now, but just a time to play. And I wanted to show you today what I made during my session with my Friday night folks. And it was really, really, really nice to meet with everyone, to create and to get some of my own processing of my own emotions and my own stress out, down on paper. Of course, I forgot to bring my journal, so I don't have that, but I do have the art that I made. So I'll be sharing that momentarily. Thank you again for all of your well wishes and your prayers. Please keep them coming. He's a little guy and he's been pretty sick. All right, here's my video of these two collages that I worked on, and I will let you know what I'm thinking as we go. Life is messy. My desk was very messy, but I had all the collage papers all around exactly where I needed them. And I collected a bunch of ephemera from my hospital stay with my son. So the stripes, those wavy stripes, those are from a Starbucks takeout bag. We got some little vanilla scones. So this was done in a process art environment, so I was really focused on what felt good to make, and I was much less focused on what it looked like. My intention for this session was I let it all out, all the stress and fear and anxiety of the last 7 days. I put it all onto the paper, and into the paper, I am light and free and full of hope. So that's how I started. I set that down, pushed my journal away, and went into my sketchbook. I really was reaching for a lot of blues and greens. The Starbucks bag is very dark green, even though it looks black on the video. And that is a pillow, which was very much calling to me just to get some rest. So I love that giant half pillow. One of the interesting things that came out of this particular session, and one of the reasons that I'm sharing this with you, was that by the end of it, and I'll read you some of my witness writing at the end, I felt like I was able to accurately represent all of the clutter in my mind and in my heart during these hospital stays. And I feel like I after looking at what I created, the end result, I feel like what I see on the page represents what I was feeling. That was a very long way to describe it, but it's very abstracted, clearly. I was not actually thinking about Starbucks wavy lines, but I was feeling all of this heaviness, some of it good. There's lots of good decisions to make and lots of good things going on. And there were things that were tricky and messy and hard and really, really heavy that I was also dealing with. And it felt like I've used this metaphor before, but I feel like I was, I didn't realize, like in a cartoonish way, how many plates I was spinning until I looked around and saw all the plates spinning, and then they all started to wobble. And that's how I felt in this moment as well. So I've put that rocky apple. It's not a rocky apple. It's an apple that looks a bit like the bottom of a rocking chair. It's not a flat surface. It's going to move as the base, part of the base, to this huge pile of things. It's almost reminiscent of a cartoon, like a guy who's running away in a cartoon, and he has like a teeny tiny bag or a teeny tiny cart that's piled up with all these things 10 feet in the air. Here's another way of doing it. That little bitty, oh, see, there we go. That little tiny stick is holding up all those things. So beware. It felt like it was all about to fall. It never did, but I definitely had to let some things go and put some things down, which intellectually I knew was good, a good idea. But I can know things intellectually and not know them, and not fully appreciate them emotionally. And that's one of the things that this art process helps me with. I try to think myself out of situations instead of just feeling whatever I'm feeling in that moment. And I do this weird thing. I don't know if anyone else does this. I'd be fascinated to hear from you in the comments or send me an email. But I will often try to talk myself out of feelings, and I'll make up some reason. So let's say, I have a friend who's kind of unreliable, and they make plans with me. They're coming into town. I'm really excited to see them. And then shocker, right? They prove themselves unreliable again, which I knew was always a risk because of their past unreliability, but they're really fun when I get to see them. So then I will tell myself, well, Jackie, you're not allowed to be disappointed and sad because you knew this would likely happen. And so I've done that my whole life. And it's not until the last probably decade that I'm like, oh, no, I can still be sad when things don't work out. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to feel whatever I'm feeling, even if I went into it knowing it was a real possibility. So I don't remember why I started talking about that, but I feel like there are all these things that intellectually, of course, intellectually, I think we all know when we need a break. We don't always take the break, but we can feel when things are, there's just too much. But emotionally, how to let those things go is a harder step for me than just trying to put logic on it and make sense of it in my brain. So let me read you. Oh, I can't read you part of that yet because the part that I'm going to talk about has not been created yet. I made something on the left-hand side that I really enjoyed. And that girl's face spoke to me, and it reminded me a bit of my son, not because obviously he's male and they could be around the same age though, but there was some sort of like the innocence of like the puffy cheeks and then her look and her eyes that are so skeptical and so unimpressed. I thought it was very interesting. And the text that's above her head now, birth, it's a magazine page that I've jelly printed over. And the text above her head, the letters are R-E-L-A. I don't remember if it said relatable or something in the actual magazine ad. But if you scramble those letters up, it also will spell real. And I like that her head's on the pillow. She's getting some rest. And I really loved the little pink balloons popping out. And my favorite part is coming soon. This is kind of exciting because I'm not sure when it's going to happen. But on the right side, I ended up saying, what does it take to be? Like, what does it take to exist? There's so much sometimes. Like, literally, how much more will it take? And also, my son's name is Baxter, so what does it take to be? Be. Okay, this is my favorite part that I did. I cut out these letters, so now it says birth, real, art. And I thought that was pretty profound. Like, talk about a good advice from me to myself. Birth, real, art. So I pass that on to you. If you're feeling heavy, if you're feeling overwhelmed, try cutting out some collage paper, glue it down to paper, write what you see, write what you feel. Take 10 minutes on each part and see if it helps. This whole process of being present, focusing on the process of making art, and doing some writing about it is what we do in my Brave Art and Creative Wellness workshops. Everything's on Zoom. It is very introvert friendly, and I do have a free workshop, well, a day of workshops, I suppose. It's Friday, June 14th, 2024, from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Chicago time. Or you can also do the afternoon session or the evening session, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Chicago time. I would love to have you there. If you're interested, go to JackieSchomburg.com/workshops or click on the link in the upper right-hand corner to reserve your spot now. Hope to see you soon.